Our movie starts in one of the prisons in America with the prison warden, William, and his accountant, Butler. They face a problem where the prison requires a huge budget every year due to the behavior of most prisoners, who often fight with each other or the guards, causing a lot of damage that must be repaired. Additionally, injured prisoners require expensive medical treatment. William and Butler begin to think of ways to reduce these costs, and Butler presents a series of movies that discuss similar ideas that could lead to a solution. However, William objects to all the solutions proposed in the film. While discussing, William receives a call informing him that prisoner number 275 is causing trouble. William goes to the prisoner's cell, where he is being abusive, and objects to William's management style. William decides to ignore him for now and seek revenge later. Shortly afterward, another prisoner, who had violently attacked a guard. He is apprehended, and the guards await William's orders to deal with him. William decides to break the prisoner's arm to prevent further harm to others. Despite Butler's objections that this will lead to more medical expenses, William proceeds and seems to enjoy the sight of the brutal act. The prisoners begin to hide from William, fearing for their lives. Later, William receives a call from an unknown person informing him that they are coming to kill him. He tries to hide but then gets another call from a guard informing him that the previous call was from one of the prisoners using their monthly allowed call. The guard apologizes and promises it won't happen again. Shortly after, William undergoes a routine medical examination by the prison doctor, who notices that William is tense and suffering from a high heart rate. However, William dismisses the doctor's concerns and insists he doesn't need any advice. The doctor becomes afraid and changes his mind. They are telling William that he is in good health. Afterward, William goes to punish the prisoner who had threatened him while he thinks of a suitable punishment. The secretary informs William that the governor, Hughes, who is running for elections, will be arriving soon. William asks the secretary to delay him as much as she can until he finishes with the prisoner and decides on his punishment. This time, he chooses to pour boiling water on the prisoner's face and enjoys the sight while laughing. Later, he returns to his office, and while having lunch, he thinks of new ways to punish the prisoners. He suggests that they should return to medieval methods of punishment, which were notoriously brutal, and he is happy about the idea of carrying out these punishments himself on the prisoners. While he is in his office, he receives a call informing him that the prisoner has regained consciousness. William goes to the infirmary, which is full of sick prisoners due to what William has done to them. Most of them are disfigured, and many have lost their ability to move. William tortures the prisoner and tries to strangle him until his heart stops beating. The doctor arrives in time to revive him, but William feels sad because all his plans have failed, and the prisoners are still fighting and beating each other. He argues with Butler, who suggests they make a human centipede out of the prisoners by sewing them together. This would prevent fighting and save money on repairs and treatments. William objects and fires Butler, saying goodbye to his secretary before leaving. Afterward, William is sitting in the dining room when he is surprised to see all the prisoners he had helped escape coming in to seek revenge on him for what he had done to them. He is shocked that he apologizes and tries to explain that he is just a servant following orders. However, the prisoners refuse to accept his apology and beat and stab him brutally. William then realizes it was just a nightmare but fears it could become a reality. He decides to go back on his word and execute Butler's plan. He contacts Butler, and they return to work together again. Butler suggests they bring in the director who had directed the program in his film, Saw. The director agrees to meet with them, and William is present at the meeting. He questions whether the project is feasible or just a fictional idea. The director assures him that it is 100% possible and that he had consulted with numerous surgeons before executing it in his film. They spend a long time discussing the plan's details, and William becomes optimistic that the idea will spread to all prisons in America. They decide to show the film to the prisoners to make them aware of the consequences of their actions. However, William's boss objects to the idea, believing that it will cause more problems than it solves. Despite the objections, William insists on going through with the plan. During the screening, the prisoners are confused about what they see and do not understand the film's purpose. William then reveals that they plan to execute the same plan on them. The prisoners become furious and try to attack William, but he and Butler escape to a nearby office and call for backup. Meanwhile, the prisoners can overpower the guards and escape from their cells. They reach the director's office and start attacking him. William, who is hiding behind a tree, witnesses the chaos and calls for backup. The situation is brought under control by the time backup arrives, and the prisoners are returned to their cells. William asks Butler to call the doctor, as his leg is hurting from the jump he had made earlier. On the second day, they decided to start implementing their plan. William held his gun, but instead of loading it with bullets, he filled it with a sedative injection. He proceeded to administer the injection to each prisoner until they lost consciousness. Then the guards took them to the clinic, where the doctor tied each prisoner to their bed and conducted the necessary tests to determine if they were fit to participate in the operation. After a while, William discovered that one prisoner was not suitable for the procedure, so he decided to kill him to avoid jeopardizing the plan. The doctor began the operation on the remaining prisoners while William basked in his newfound fame and success in America. He and Butler rehearsed their presentation of the idea to the governor, expecting him to be impressed and promote them. William also anticipated that the director, who was curious about the operation's execution, would be proud of him. Soon, the governor arrived, and William explained the plan in detail to him. He outlined how the prisoners would be restrained together in a human chain, preventing any movement or communication, thereby ensuring a smooth operation. The governor was pleased and impressed with the idea, which would save money on expenses such as books, electricity, repairs, and security. He planned to allocate the saved funds to education, healthcare, or other important areas. Then, the governor visited the prisoners who had been sentenced to life imprisonment or death, and he saw how the plan had transformed them. They were united and determined to never commit any wrongdoing again, having experienced the suffering and torture of their previous imprisonment. William was proud of his achievement and the large amount of money he had saved, which made him happy. However, William's happiness was short-lived. Suddenly, he saw the infected doctor in front of him, and he decided to kill him. Then, he wanted to kill himself and Butler to keep his role in the plan a secret. However, he was surprised when the governor returned and praised their brilliant idea, which he intended to implement in prisons across America. William was overjoyed at the prospect of his idea gaining widespread acceptance, but he also thought of killing Butler to ensure that no one found out that it was his idea in the first place. Finally, he put the gun in his hand, making it look like a suicide.